And just like that, Battlefield has already lost the war against Call of Duty. And honestly, I'm pretty sure even they know that. The sales numbers are out, and while they look really good for an average game or any other Battlefield game, they're nothing compared to Call of Duty numbers. And since this was the big first push and the most important one, I think it's highly unlikely that the game does as well as the community would have had you guys believe. Like I said, these are great numbers for a Battlefield game, it's just not the COD killer that people said it would be. Anybody who's actually paid attention knows that COD has always been miles ahead in pretty much every category: quality, profits, popularity, you name it. Call of Duty dominates Battlefield. But for some reason this year everybody's been saying that this is Battlefield's year and COD is finally done. It's just not going to happen, guys. Look at all the other COD killers. Like, don't even call your game that unless you want it to fail. It's not just the sales numbers either. Sure, if you already loved Battlefield, this is going to be a good entry and you're going to enjoy the game. But for newcomers, it's pretty rough out there. Anytime somebody says anything negative about the game at all, the entire Battlefield community swarms in telling them to go back to Call of Duty and, stop ruining their game and this and that and the other. So clearly COD players aren't even welcomed here. And then there's this whole Steam player count argument, which people love to use to claim that COD is dead. And that number means literally nothing for Call of Duty. Hardly anybody buys Call of Duty on Steam, they just use Battle.net, and they always have. There's like a million different reasons for that. Number one, it's the official launcher for the franchise, like it's the Activision launcher. And for years, COD wasn't even on Steam. So most players stayed where their library already was. And the biggest reason of all, Battle.net actually gives you better performance in COD. Like, you literally get more FPS. I know that sounds like something I'm just making up. Look it up, that's a real thing. So yeah, Steam stats, they don't mean anything. Honestly, Battlefield fans would be so much better off not comparing themselves to one of the biggest franchises in gaming history. Like, are you guys not getting deja vu? Do you not remember Battlefield 1? Battlefield 1 couldn't outsell Infinite Warfare, and it was a situation just like this one. And that's one of COD's lowest points ever. Even when Call of Duty flops, it's still one of the best-selling games, if not the best-selling game of the year. Battlefield? They're fighting for just a tiny little space, 6 feet deep under COD, hoping a few players still show up. That's how it's always been. It's so much smaller of a game. And if you guys have been paying attention to the community feedback and the response to this launch, it's pretty clear that the only people who truly love this game are the ones who already loved Battlefield before. New players are completely bored out of their minds, grinding some of the worst mastery camos that anybody has ever seen. Like, come on, Battlefield. A camo can be realistic and be grounded. It doesn't have to look like whatever this is supposed to be. And here's the part that cracks me up. Everybody trashed Modern Warfare 3's short campaign a few years ago. But now that Battlefield's campaign is just as short and arguably even worse, suddenly everybody's saying, oh, that doesn't matter, the campaign doesn't matter, it's all about the multiplayer. That's not what you guys were saying a few years ago. Like, come on now, don't switch up. Speaking of multiplayer, remember when you'd ask your mom for McDonald's and she'd say, we got McDonald's at home? Well, Battlefield 6 is that. It's McDonald's at home version of COD. They're remaking Shipment and Rust, except they're just terrible versions with like the worst spawns you've ever seen. Like, even worse than normal Shipment spawns. I've played the game myself for about 5 hours, and I'll say this, the gameplay itself is perfectly fine, there's nothing wrong with it, but there's just no reason to keep playing unless you just live and breathe for the objective, and that's the only thing on earth that you care about. If you're coming from Call of Duty, where objective means pretty much nothing unless you're playing ranked play, this game is going to be so boring for you because you're going to take one look at those mastery camos. You're going to know you're not going for those. You're going to know that the campaign sucks. You know there's no zombie mode. There's no battle royale yet. I know they're making one. But all I'm saying is, if you don't love that objective, there's going to be nothing for you at all. Now, I know all you guys already jumped in the comments and you already called me a COD fanboy, and I totally get it. You guys love Battlefield the same way that I love COD, and that's perfectly fine. But here's the truth. In 3 months from now, the only people that are still going to be playing Battlefield 6 are going to be the same people who always played the Battlefield games before. This game is not pulling COD players away the way that you guys are acting like it is. It's not going to grow your franchise much bigger than it already was before, and unless the Battle Royale is revolutionary, this game is going to fade out so unbelievably quick. Battlefield has no staying power, and it pretty much never has. It's not even in the same league as Call of Duty, so there's no point in comparing it. But if you guys disagree, and I know most of you will, tell me in the comments what Battlefield is doing so differently that it's supposed to topple one of gaming's biggest giants of all time. That's all I got for you guys today. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And as always, peace.